Good evening. In my 30 or so years of international climbing, I've been fortunate enough to see and climb some stunning peaks, and one that stands out above many others in more ways than one is the Matterhorn. This tooth, this great pyramid, this point that stands out in the Alps, is internationally known. Its picture has gone round the world, it's in chocolate bars, it's in every part of our life, and it has many a story to tell. I travelled there in 2010 with the idea of standing on this peak as a poignant part of my life. It was a peak I'd been wishing to climb for many years, but of course my injuries had slowed me down, and only 10 or so years after them did I feel like I was in a position to make the climb. Most people are up and down in a day. It took me a little longer because of my feet, and in fact I was rebuked when I sat at the Hornley hut. As I sat there airing my feet, it's something I have to do with my skin grafts now, and letting them rest, and people said, "What on earth are you doing climbing the Matterhorn with no toes?" That's for me to decide. At the time I was in love with a girl, madly in love, and the idea would be that when I came home from the Matterhorn, we'd sort all of our lives out and be happy together. That was the plan. But plans changed, and while I was away, that love affair collapsed instantly, and I was devastated that things had happened whilst I were away that were completely out of my control. But that sometimes is the path that love can take. Cheers. And here is my love letter to the Matterhorn. Dear MH, my life was a bit of a mess when we first met, and I didn't make too big a deal of it, so you were probably unaware of my plight, but it wouldn't have mattered. It seems that it was all going to end in disaster anyway. Your image is famous across the world, and it has appeared in many magazines and publications. People across the globe admire or fear your steep sides and pinnacle top. You have numerous names and ever-changing moods, but people come to your door in droves, drawn by your glamour. I saw the sun cast a huge shadow over the skies above you, and a fire lit across your face like few I have ever seen. You have so much warmth to share, even if you are surrounded by ice. When I visited, I had to bring a friend. I'm sorry if you found that a little embarrassing, but I needed some guidance on how to get to you. I think you enjoyed our company, but with so many other people there, you could have missed us. Still, we shared a few precious moments together as I stood atop of you, and you allowed me to cross onto both of your summits before I began the long journey home. You really made my feet ache. Yet you weren't to blame though. After all, I'm a bit battered these days, and stayed an extra night without asking because of that. I do hope you don't mind. I just couldn't walk any further, and I did find your company rather a delight. When I left the next morning, the sun was blinding, and you were resplendent above the horizon. We shared a piece together which gave me time to make a choice. Unfortunately, that choice was betrayed by another, and I should have stayed with you rather than return home. Her love letters to me are now useful only as ash in a fire. Life can be very hard sometimes, and hindsight impossible to judge. But you are fair with everyone, whatever the consequences. Good night.